guys, it's Justine, but you can call me Blondie. Today's video is going to be an anti-haul. Now, I did one of these videos like over a year ago, but if you don't know what an anti-haul is, it's a bunch of products that are coming out that I don't want to buy. I'm pretty sure the series was started by Kimberly-Clark, but now tons of people do anti-hauls, which, by the way, Kimberly-Clark, I was just looking at her YouTube channel last night and she hasn't posted in like 7 months. I will leave her channel link down below. She is a drag queen here on YouTube and I am obsessed with her videos. But yeah, I'm just gonna go ahead and get started with this anti-haul. My eyes are like going blurry. Also, with these anti-hauls, I usually do products that I'm not going to buy, but I really want to buy. So, because I feel like if I did like every product on the market that I'm not going to buy, these videos would be so long. I could post a different video every single day just because there's so many products out there. So I like to keep it to products that I really want, but I am not going to get for one reason or another. So the first one are the Jaclyn Hill brushes with Morphe. I love makeup brushes. I could always use more makeup brushes, and I think that the Jaclyn Hill brush collection is a really good deal when you buy them all as the big set, but it's a lot of money to cough up $165 all at once just for brushes. Like, let's be honest, that's, if you divide it amongst all the brushes, let's do the math. I think there's 24 brushes in the set. So $165, plus it comes with a case, which is like $22. So I'll subtract 22 from that, divided by 24. That's like $5.99 per brush, plus you get like the 10% discount if you use a coupon code and stuff with Morphe, so it ends up being even less than that. Like, that's a good deal for brushes, but $165 is so much to spend at once just on makeup brushes. So I will not be getting that set, even though I really, really want it. Next is the Makeup Geek Pumpkin Spice palette. Now, I saw this palette and I fell in love. There's this one orange shade. I think the color is even like pumpkin spice on this orange shade, and it's such a beautiful color, and the palette itself is so beautiful. Plus, it's called Pumpkin Spice and it's fall, and I'm in the fall spirit, and I just look at this palette and I think of all the different fall looks I could make with it. But I already have like colors that are similar to that in my collection. You know, it's a lot of like oranges and browns, and I have a lot of oranges and browns, and so this is something that I don't need because I already have things that are similar. I could easily dupe almost all the colors in this palette, so I won't be purchasing that one, but I really, really want it. Next are the Colorpop Jelly Shadows, and there's two colors in particular that I really want, and they are Wee Jammin' and Ventura. Those are like, one of them is like a just white color, and one is almost like a chromey color. I don't know if chromey is the right word, but it like transitions between shades. Like, it's like blue and then purple, and it's just, both would be so pretty as a highlight, and I would really want these eyeshadows as highlights, but they are the only things I want from Colourpop's website currently, and I don't want to pay for shipping, so I'm literally not going to buy them just because I don't want to pay for shipping. And those are the only two things on Colourpop's website right now that I've really been eyeing. And plus, I ordered these like Colourpop crystal setting sprays a few months ago, and like, they were so hyped and I wanted them so badly, and I bought them and they were just horrible. And ever since I've got those setting sprays, I've been kind of like not in love with Colourpop, you know? Like, that one product, you ever just, that happens, like you get one product and it fails on you and you just kind of like aren't as obsessed with the company as you once were. Because that's how I was with the setting sprays, because it's not like they were bad, like the setting sprays were really, really bad. So I don't know, I've just been kind of staying away from Colourpop lately, but those jelly shadows look so good. I'm hoping they come out with like a jelly highlight. If they came out with a jelly highlight, I would 100% get it. Next is the BH Cosmetics Solar Flare palette. Now, this is a palette that has been out for quite a while now, but BH Cosmetics has like this line of like space palettes, and I have the Galaxy Chic palette, and it's not my favorite just because it's so colorful, and I can't figure out how to use all the colors, because not only is it so colorful, but it's, all the colors are like shimmery, and so you can't really make one single look with the palette. You always have to bring in other eyeshadows from other palettes or single eyeshadows or something. So I don't love my Galaxy Chic palette, but the Solar Flare palette is like a bunch of neutrals and oranges and yellows, and it looks so beautiful, but I don't need it. Like, I don't need another huge palette filled with like sparkly colors. There's also like two other palettes. They're called Aurora Lights and Supernova, and those are both pretty, but they're both kind of on that same level as the Galaxy Chic palette, where it's just a bunch of sparkly, really colorful eyeshadows. There's not a transition shade, there aren't any mattes. Like, you can't really make a single look with just that one palette. So, or at least I couldn't, because I have a very routine way of doing my eyeshadow, where I do like a matte in the crease followed by another matte, and then I only do like glitter on my lid, and so it just wouldn't work out for me. And then kind of on that like same note, Lime Crime came out with a Venus 3 and a Venus XL palette. I love my Venus palette. I love, love, love my Lime Crime Venus palette. I actually talked about the Venus 2 palette in my last anti-haul video. I didn't like the colors in the Venus 2, but in the Venus 3 and the Venus XL, the colors are beautiful. They went back to like those pinky light colors, and it's so beautiful. Venus 3 in particular has like these purpley shades and like some like, they're like pastels, but they're like very pigmented pastels, you know, and they're so, so beautiful, but it's just not something I need, and I don't even reach for my Venus palette a lot because it is only 6 colors. I will usually reach for it if I want to do like a burgundy makeup look, because there is that like beautiful burgundy shade in there, but that's the only time I really reach for it. And so I don't think I would really use the Venus 3 or the Venus XL that much. Next is the Natasha Denona Camel eyeshadow palette. Natasha Denona recently came out with like these really gorgeous like 5 eyeshadow palettes. They're only $45, which sounds like a lot for 5 eyeshadows, but Natasha Denona's eyeshadow palettes are usually like hundreds of dollars. So when you hear her name to a palette and it's $45, like that sounds like, you know, a good deal. That's more affordable than her like hundreds of dollar eyeshadow palettes. And then the Camel palette in particular just looks so nice. It has such like pretty brown shades, but it's only like neutral brown shades. You know, I already have a lot of neutral eyeshadows. I don't need another one, especially for $45, even though that's like more reasonably priced for Natasha Denona. In the scheme of makeup things, like you could get a huge palette with tons of eyeshadows for that price. So I feel like it's just not worth it, not for 5 neutral eyeshadows, even though I've never owned anything from Natasha Denona and this is more affordable for her. It's just not realistic, let's be honest. Next, Bobbi Brown came out with a Camel Luxe palette, and actually Bobbi Brown came out with an entire Camel Luxe line, but the thing that really drew me in was the Camel Luxe palette. And it's like 6 like neutral, like brownish greenish shades, and they're very pretty, but the thing that really caught my eye is there's this gorgeous gold shade in the middle of the palette, and it's so stunning. And then also just the idea of a camo palette, kind of like the Pumpkin Spice palette from Makeup Geek. It's just like, I love that idea of a camo palette. It's not something I've seen before. It's really great like marketing to do a like themed palette like that, like Pumpkin Spice, like Camouflage. It's super cute, you know? And so that really drew me in as well. But again, the colors overall are very neutral and it's not something that I need. Next is the Urban Decay Naked Cherry. Now this palette, I looked at it and it was like, I immediately said no because I don't need a palette with a bunch of reds and pinks and burgundies. But at the same time, it was really pretty. Like I knew right off the bat, this is not something that I want, but there are some shades in there that are really cute. If they ever did like a miniature version of the Naked Cherry with like the 5 darkest shades in like a smaller palette, that might be something I would be more likely to consider picking up, because the 5 darkest shades in the palette are so gorgeous. The lighter shades all kind of look the same though. They're all just colors that I'm going to use as a base, and none of them are really colors that I would use to, you know, really make the makeup look, and I just don't care for the lighter shades. They look very basic, but the 6 dark shades look so pretty. Next is something I actually talked about in a past video, but the Benefit Brow Contour looks so cool. It's like one of those clicky pens, but a brow product, and so you get 2 like highlighting colors and 2 brow colors. This is just not something I need. It's $34, which is quite a bit for a brow product, and I'm not even sure if I would use the highlighting shades. I would definitely use the brow shades, but I don't usually use like a little stick highlighter for my brows, and I don't think I would use those. And even though it's such a cool idea, I just don't see myself using it day to day. And then also someone said that there's not a lot of product in there itself, and so it's just not worth the $34. So even though the idea is super cool, I'm gonna pass on that one. And then the last things are just a bunch of Too Faced stuff. I've been so bored with Too Faced lately. They recently announced that they're gonna come out with a gingerbread palette. The packaging is cute, but it looks a lot like all their other palettes, like all their chocolate palettes and their peach palette. And it's just, you know, it just looks like the same thing redone, like the same colors. They like, you know, picked and chose a bunch of old colors and just put it in a new gingerbread palette. It's probably going to be ginger scented, and it's just you know, it's not super exciting. And then same thing, they're coming out with a bunch more peach products, and I can't even tell the difference between the old peach products and the new ones, to be honest, because they all just look the same and none are very exciting to me. It makes me kind of sad because Too Faced used to be like my favorite makeup brand. I feel like lately they have just been putting out product after product after product, and they're constantly releasing new items, and I've been getting so bored of them, and I wish they would like focus on going back to basics. And I thought they were doing that when they like revamped their Chocolate Soleil bronzer and their natural eyes palette. I thought like, okay, this is good. This is like a step in the right direction. They're gonna start going towards the basics. This will be really nice. And then they continued to release like more and more and more. And it's like, as a consumer, it gets overwhelming and it gets boring. And like, I think my favorite makeup brand as of lately has been Lancome, just because Lancome does come out with new products and they do have a lot of releases, don't get me wrong, but I feel like Lancome overall really just sticks to the basics, you know? So that is it for my little anti-haul. Don't get me wrong, I love all of these brands, and I still do, especially Too Faced. I still do love Too Faced, but I just haven't been getting excited over their new releases. I've just been, you know, when I buy a Too Faced product, I'm buying something that, you know, I'm buying a Chocolate Soleil bronzer, I'm buying a Better Than Sex mascara, I'm buying the things that have been out forever, the things that I know work well, but the newer items I just haven't been obsessed with. So yeah, that's it. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.